Welcome to this review of EVA Air, or EVA Air as some people pronounce. EVA Air is a Taiwanese airline. They had their first flight on 1st of July 1991 and their first destinations included Bangkok, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Singapore and Seoul. They used a fleet of Boeing 767s with business and economy class seating. EVA Air joined the Star Alliance network in 2013 and as of 1st of October 2022 they now have 90 aircrafts in operation with a further 12 currently on order. The most common aircraft used is the Boeing 777-300. I first flew EVA Air back in 2012 when I visited Thailand for the first time in my life. I had such a great flight. The standout feature was definitely the crew. They were excellent and amazing service, and so since then I have booked a few economy flights and a few premium economy flights, but I'm yet to try their business class. Let's have a quick look at the seating now. They have Royal Laurel class, which is the business class, premium economy and economy. Business class is rows 1 to 11, followed by premium economy. The seats marked in red basically don't have any window next to them, and then you got plenty of economy seats to choose from. It's nice that it's the 333 layout. Premium economy was a 242 layout and business class is a 121 layout. This means that each seat has direct aisle access. So please come and join me as we fly through my review of EVA Air. Hello guys, I'm here at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok and I'm about to fly on EVA Airways. I booked a premium economy flight, but I'm going to cheekily ask for an upgrade. I never get an upgrade, but I'm going to ask. I'll see how it goes. So as mentioned, we're flying from Bangkok to London on the Boeing 777-300ER. I'm here at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok, and EVA Air, or EVA Air, flies out of Zone T. I arrived at the airport about 4 hours early, and it was so busy, the lines were full, and it took about an hour for me to get seen, and then I had to wait a further 1.5 hours for my wheelchair. Luckily, I came early. These are my favourite air bridges where you can see through the glass. Yes, I'm blind, 99% blind, but I still can see a little bit, and it's still nice to have the daylight. You're probably wondering what happened to my upgrade. Well, I asked and they were tapping some buttons. It all looked positive. It looked like they were going to give me the upgrade, and then they gave me the bombshell at the last minute and said, "Sir, it's $1,500 US." And I said, "No thank you." Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like travel videos, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'm in premium economy, seat 21A, which is meant to be a window seat, but I made the cardinal sin of not checking the seat map properly and not realizing that there is no window. Let's now do a quick seat tour. Waiting at your seat, you'll have a blanket, a pillow, and tucked away underneath is a bottle of water. The seat pitch is 38 inches and it's about just over 19 inches wide. Inside your armrest you have a control panel and also the button used to recline the seat. The headrest is adjustable. The side bits are quite firm, it's a bit stiff, but they can fold inwards and obviously flat, and you can move it slightly up and slightly down. Here's a shot of me trying to capture the recline. It's decent and quite comfortable. In front of you have an IFE, which we'll look at a bit later, and in your seat pocket you have a pair of slippers and your headphones. We'll have a look at each of these a bit later on as well. You'll see that every aisle seat has overhead lockers as well above them. Here's a shot of the footrest, which pops up when you recline the seat. On the seat in front of you, you also have this additional footrest. I've never found this comfortable. Maybe if you're a bit short and you couldn't reach the floor, it might be handy, but otherwise I don't really use this. Also between the two seats you have a cocktail table, which you will share with your neighbour. Hidden in the armrest you'll have a tray table, and we'll have a look at this later on. Also between the two seats you have power plugs. Each seat has a universal power plug a USB port and your headphone jack. There are no individual air vents above your seat, and I know some of you do really like these. I'm not too particularly bothered, but the cabin was very hot. Unlike the Boeing 787, you can open and shut the window shades as you please. Here's a shot of row 20 in front of me. There is a window seat here, and thankfully it was available, and the cabin crew allowed me to change my seat just before takeoff. With the safety video now complete, we began our taxi onto the runway, which seemed to go on forever. Literally on and on and on forever. And at that point is when the crew decided to make the announcement about the face masks.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention please? According to the Taiwan government administration mask mandate, all passengers are required to wear face masks all the time, except the meal time. Thank you for your cooperation.
One of my favourite things of every single flight I take is listening to the engines power up and accelerate forward for takeoff. I just find it fascinating and I look forward to hearing it every single time I fly. Now that we've taken off, it was time to sit back and relax, and for the crew to shut the business class curtain, just to save us from being jealous. Within a minute or two after this curtain was shut, the crew handed out some snacks which were suitable for vegan and vegetarians, I'm pleased, as well as some apple juice. And now I can show you the tray table. As mentioned earlier, this is hidden away in your armrest. You need to be a bit careful when pulling it out as you're using this little latch, and if you let go it's going to slam down on your fingers. Once the tray table's open, it'll be initially a cocktail table, but you can open it to get a larger table, for example when you're having your meal or if you wish to do some work. The tray table moves back and forward, but I like to use it as a cocktail table. Shortly after this, the crew handed out a hot towel service, which was very nice, and shortly after that began serving lunch. As usual, I'd pre-ordered my vegan meal, but here's a look at the menu if you weren't ordering a special meal. Here's a look at my meal. It mainly consists of fruit, salad and a curry. It's very typical of this sort of route and this airline. It wasn't very interesting in terms of choice, but it did taste very good, and for me the highlight was the avocado, as I love avocado. I tried the sparkling wine, which didn't taste very nice. I had one sip and left that. Here's a look at the slippers that were given. They're quite thin, so I prefer to use my own trainers. What I found most impressive though is that you're given an amenity kit on this flight. Don't forget, I'm in premium economy, not business. The amenity kit itself was well stocked, more so than some business class flights out there. It's now about 5 hours into the flight, so let's have a look at the washroom, see how clean it is. The first thing I notice is this flower on the wall, which gives the washroom a nice fresh feeling. The washroom is a good size, especially for a premium economy cabin, and was fairly clean. You don't get many amenities here, as you did get an amenity kit bag earlier, which has got a toothbrush in it, but there are a few amenities as shown here. There was plenty of tissue, which is always important, and behind you have a full-length mirror, as shown here. And of course, on the door you have the usual coat hook. At this point, the cabin was pitch black, which isn't great for someone who's got 1% vision, but I made it back to my seat safe and sound without falling over. Let's now have a quick look at the Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get onto the Wi-Fi. I tried one network, which failed. I tried clicking on the other one, which then asked me for a password. I didn't know what the password was. I couldn't find any information anywhere as to what it would be. When I asked the crew for some help and said, how do I get onto the Wi-Fi? They did tell me that there's no real point as we're not too far from landing, and if you can wait, then you can use the Wi-Fi data when you land. It'll be cheaper. They said it is quite expensive. Unfortunately, I don't have details now, but I do plan to fly them again, and I will definitely get you that information on the next flight. Of course, if you don't have Wi-Fi, there are a number of other ways to entertain yourself throughout the flight. One is to look at the flight path and flight information as shown here. There's not a huge amount of data, but still interesting. On all flight path systems, I always try to look for other buttons to show different camera angles. I also try to zoom in and out by pinching, but I don't think this system was interactive. And obviously I am 99% blind. I did my best to look for these buttons for other camera angles, but I didn't find any. In just a moment we'll have a more detailed look at the in-flight entertainment system, but first let's have a look at the headphones available. I thought that these headphones were fairly comfortable, and I was happy to see that they were clean. The quality was okay, they're not noise cancelling, but decent enough for premium economy. I found the selection of entertainment available in terms of movies and TV programs not so great. There wasn't a huge selection for Western options, but there was a few things that you could watch probably to keep you busy for a few hours. Here's a brief look at the selection available. As usual, I look at comedies, but there wasn't really much there. And I will also show you briefly the kids section. Also through your IFE you can play games, you can shop, and you can look at the menus. As this was a day flight, we did get some beautiful views of the sunset over the clouds, but unfortunately the windows were very dirty. Just before landing, another meal was served. So it looks like we have some sort of soya milk on the left. I'm not sure if it's got banana or cashew, but I used to drink this in Thailand. It's very nice. Just above that we got some fruits, then we've got an empty little tray, then we got a tray with some mushroom and some other vegetables, the bread roll at the top in the cup, a glass of water, and some vegetables, potato and a tomato curry in the middle. Let's see how it is. If you're vegan and travelling in Southeast Asia, then it's interesting to note that this symbol here, which looks like the number 17, which I believe is a Chinese symbol, indicates that the product is vegan. We're now approaching the end of the review and the end of the flight. Something I haven't yet mentioned is the crew. They were fantastic, friendly and helpful. This is one of the reasons why I really enjoy flying with EVA, and I will definitely fly with them again. I wish the entertainment was a little bit better, but it's not the end of the world, as of course we have our tablets these days, so we can always download programs and watch on our own devices. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and see you next time.